And then she's like, okay, and he's like, okay, when I snap my fingers twice, you're gonna see me as Leonardo DiCaprio. And she was like, she's freaking out. Yeah. That was Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, and like our mind really can like you can do that. Like you can like for instance like I don't like sour cream. It's all in my mind. It tastes the same to everybody. It's all in my mind whether I like it or not. So people hypnotize themselves like for success kind of for like entrepreneur things. So like if like for instance if you're scared to talk in public, you want more confidence. What you do is you keep giving yourself like affirmations, and then you go into your subconscious mind. Like for instance, sleep. When you dream, you're in a subconscious state, and so those affirmations they keep going through your head, and then it becomes like a reality, and then like you start to believe it, and then it's crazy.
So, I was actually having a conversation with my girlfriend like an hour or two ago, and she was asking me about dreams. She brought up dreams somehow or whatever, but two things about dreams that I think are insane. Number one, you like if you were to fall off a cliff in a dream, or if someone were to stab you in a dream, or someone shoots you in a dream or whatever, or a freaking ship falls on you in a dream, you wake up right before you die, right? Mm-hmm. It's because the body's never experienced death. The brain has no idea what death is actually like, so it can't simulate it. Similar to that, every single person...
Everything's a simulation.
No. Every single person... Listen to this. Every single person you see in a dream, every single place...
You've seen it before.
You have seen it before. Whether it's on TV, whether it's in the street, because your brain cannot organically create. Mm-hmm. Which is the reason why I think that it's a huge argument for like divine creation. Because we are incapable of just organically creating people, souls. We are completely incapable of that.
That's why I think UFOs are real.
Nico, what the heck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, then there's the space thing. I watch a lot of space, dude. Space.
You need to watch Interstellar, right?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Tell him.
I feel like it's nonfiction though. No, fiction. Dang it.
No, a lot of it's based on truth. Is it? It has Einstein's theory of relativity.
I just think people.
It's a huge plot.
I feel like space is underrated, dude. Like it's really underrated.
It's the scariest thing.
It's so fascinating, man.
But think about this.
It's insane, dude.
Think about this. We know more about space than we do our own ocean.
No, that's not true.
That is true.
That's not true.
That is true. We know more. Like, if you wrote down everything we know about the ocean and everything we know about space, we know more about space.
But we don't, because we don't know how much space there is out there.
That doesn't matter. We only know 10% of the ocean. We may only know 2% of space. But if you were to write down all the information we know, the list about space is bigger.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
So we know more about space than we know about the human body.
We know more...
But personally, I think space is scarier than the ocean.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
We don't know what's out there.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know what's out there, dude.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have an understanding. You don't know what's in the ocean, but you kind of have an understanding. But so anyways, back to hypnosis thing. So, like, there's a video where, like, this dude goes to, like, a high school and has, like, 20 people in chairs, like boy, girl, 20 people in chairs, right? And like, what he does, like he tells them like, okay, these tissues that I have is money, and y'all are gonna want them. And so like they all, and then he wakes them up or whatever, and they all go hurry up and get to him, and like they hide them or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, okay, the tissues are ice, like the ice cubes, and they're all like in their shirts and stuff. And like they literally think that it's like because they're pictured in their mind, like they're cold and there's ice cubes, and they start picking them out and everything. And it's like, what else? Or just for instance, like how the girl saw Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah,
you didn't see him. Like she genuinely thought it was Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. Like
what if like you, or like Logan, or like any mental block? It's like when you could literally overcome anything.
Yeah,
a lot of people, like a lot of entrepreneurs and business people, they like hire hypnotists and do that. And I think it's huge. Because I think people like a lot of things like if you're scared of dogs, you can literally like overcome anything.
Yeah. Well, have you seen the Stanford prison experiment? You know what that is? Mm-mm. Okay, so it was a college experiment in the 70s. They took a bunch of college boys, a bunch of college kids. And this professor did, because he had a theory about it ties into hypnosis or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they trapped these students into like a portion of the school, and they said, okay, you're in prison for crimes X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. And they basically locked them in there. They gave them really bad food. They there was a sort of in their minds like an unknown bureaucrat of the jail that they didn't know anything about. So it was supposed to be like a fear factor kind of thing. There's a really good movie on it. But anyway, a couple of weeks in, or days or weeks in, and there would be like punishments, but like not really punishments. Like they would be sent to a room by themselves as like a punishment, kind of like the whole and days or weeks into this experiment, these people went mad. These people went absolutely crazy just because of the pretense that they were in prison. Mm-hmm. And there's another experiment that they did with elementary schoolers, and it's sort of like not really like race relations, but sort of like race relations. And they sat all these kids in class, and they said, they gave all the kids like certain color pieces of paper, and like so they gave one half the room green piece of paper and the other half the room blue pieces of paper. Mm-hmm. And then the teacher stood up and said, okay, if you have a blue piece of paper, you are black. The best of the this has nothing to do with race. You are the best of the best. You can go to recess first. You can go to recess early. You can go to lunch early. You can pack up your bags early, and you can get your test back early, whatever. And the green people, or like the people with the green piece of paper, not so lucky. They recorded their behavior at like recess and like after school activities. Every single student with a blue piece of paper acted like super entitled. And like and they were really degrading the people with the green piece of paper just because they had like more stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like the other thing we saw in sociology, and I hated that class. That teacher was a freaking idiot. But
I thought we would kind of learn like more psychology stuff.
No, it wasn't even psychology. It was like why you should vote for this person.
Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, well, exactly. This guy was a huge Bernie Sanders guy. Which
I could see.
Do your homework. Don't just listen to me. Look it up. Look up economics, and you'll come to the conclusion that socialism is very destructive.
Did you ever argue with him in class?
Huh?
That's just not my cup of tea, dude. I couldn't like look at like Bernie Sanders, like what he believes in, everything, and like be interested.
Yeah,
like you could, and I just personally couldn't. Like I just.
Oh, I'm not interested in Bernie Sanders.
No, but like you're interested in like politics and stuff like that.
Socialism, but we don't need to get into all that. The point is, when they did that experiment with what was it in the class? Oh, it was with the people playing like Monopoly. Mm-hmm. They set people down and they twisted the odds in the test subject's favor. They acted like real like cocky and stuff because they had more fake money, right? It wasn't real money, but because they had more, they act like their minds told them to act like hot stuff. Mm-hmm. Whether when the odds were not in their favor, it was the opposite. They like acted like humble and stuff like that. But all cool stuff.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, dude. Like what if like instead of I feel like we have a whole bunch of mental blocks. Everybody, like, we could also all be like more motivated to do more homework. We're not procrastinating. Like literally, it's all like literally in your head.
Yeah, do homework instead of podcast.
Like,
you already did your homework. I've done my homework.
I haven't finished.
I have not done mine. So
for the past month.
No, dude. And like last semester, I was doing good. But yeah, like you only, like I'll show you videos on like hypnotism. But I just think it's crazy, like how. Like, I've never been hypnotized myself, like, from a hypnotist or anything. So, like, it's just weird to see people...
Shut up.
I don't know, dude. It's just insane.
All right. I think we had a good episode. Well, I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. Again, please, guys, I'd appreciate it so much. You'll have a
Are there aliens?
Huh?
Are there aliens?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
I believe so. It's technically, like, not the typical aliens you think, because that's just... made up.
I think the odds
but
are
I think
in favor
aliens
of yes.
is as of like they're not part of.
But here's the thing,
like, we're aliens. We're not from this earth, so we're aliens. So
okay.
I believe there's whether it be just intelligent technology, because that could be an alien. Like your TV, that's a robot, People, when you say robot, people typically think R2-D2.
Yeah. Here's my conviction. If there are aliens, and the odds say probably, if there are aliens that, and this is just my opinion, my persuasion, you don't have to take this, but I think you should. I think everybody should agree with this. If there are aliens for a fact, that would mean that Jesus, when he left Earth, would have to go to their planet and preach the gospel to them. That's what that would have to mean. So that's why I'm kind of like on the fence about that. Maybe he has. We don't know.
Maybe he went before us.
Maybe he went before us. Exactly.
I don't know, dude.
So that's my persuasion. I know some people don't agree with that, but I think you should, for the sake of your soul. Anyway, Nico, where can they find you?
Watching this hypnosis video.
Where can they find you?
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna look this up after this.
Okay, Seth, where can they find you?
Seth, hey, I'm gonna show you a video. Seth Williams 23 on Instagram.
You can find me at king__Alex__. Also, guys, please go follow the Throne Room on Instagram.
Follow us on the Throne Room. Give us $1.
I'm sorry. Follow us on the Throne Room on Instagram and Twitter, and you'll see links to the t-shirt website and Patreon. But yeah, guys, please go follow us there and just make a donation. Everyone's got $1, and if nothing else, if you don't want to have to give us your money, that's fine. The least you can do is tell someone that loves sports to go check us out. If you're a college student, go tell your parents, your uncle, your classmates. Just do that, bare minimum. Nico, do you have something to say?
Please give us $1.
Anyway, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next week.